Hey guys, welcome back to another video in C programming course. Myself, I'm Anam Samanhar and I'm a campus head co-founder. So without any further delay, let's move on to today's agenda. So in order to discuss, we're going to discuss about Tic-Tac-Toe Game. It's going to be very interesting and going to be very fun. And we're going to use all the concepts, whatever we have learned in now, all the previous classes, whatever we have covered, everything we're going to utilize in this particular, to build this particular game. So if you're not aware about what is tic-tac-toe game, let me open my code blocks and let me show the first output, like what exactly it looks like when we actually run the code. So let me open the code blocks first. So let me run the code first. So this is what when we actually run the code. So this is what we're going to get an output as. So here we're going to print it as a tic-tac-toe, and we're going to print it as player one as X and player two as O. So and we also display these numbers 1 to 9, and it will ask the user to enter a number. Like if player one is it's now it's a one turn. So if player one enters any number, if I enter the player one, if assume that I'm a player one, so I'm entering a player one as a player one. I'm just entering a 5. So now it replaced by X. So now it replaced by, before that we have a 5, right? So now it replaced by X. So now it asking player 2 to enter a number. So it asking player 2 enter a number. So player 2, I'm going to enter player 2 as 2 here. So now 2 replaced by O here now. So again it asking the player ones to enter, and player 1 going to be enters 6 here, and 6 got to be replaced by X. And now player 2 turn going to enter the 3 here, and now player 1 turns. I'm going to enter 4 here. So if player 1 enters a 4, then the game going to be over and the player 1 going to be the winner. If player 1 or player 2 enter a numbers in a pattern, like the either it in a continuous manner, either in a row or a column wise or a diagonal wise, any either way. If a player enters a number continuous manner, then that player going to be a winner. So now I'm going to enter a 4 for player 1, so it's going to be continuous manner. So we go continuous manner, so then it will be player 1 going to be the winner. So we got the output as player 1 as a winner. So that's what it is. For example, if the player 2 also enters a 1, then player 2 going to be enter 1, going to be winner for the player 2. But we don't have a chance to enter player 2 because he already the player 1 is a winner. So won the match. So no need to worry about the player 2 again. So that's what it is. So now let me close it, and let me create a new project freshly, and then let's get started with this. Let me create a new project. See, as now I'm going to mention as tic-tac-toe. Okay, let's see. Now I'm going to close this particular projects. We're not using yeah. So now I'm going to click on this plus icon so that it's going to be expanded. So now we can double click on this main.c. So this is a default code which we got from this compiler. So let me delete it, and I'm going to increase its size. Yeah, I hope it is visible for you all. So now let's get started with this code. So here, first initially, I'm going to type character array. So I'm going to type it as a character array here. Character array like box 10 here, and then within array single quotes, I'm going to enter 0, 1 here, 2 here, 3 here, 5 here, 7 here, up to 9. So we're going to enter up to 9. So all the values are we're storing inside the character array. So that we're calling a box, or else we can also call it as a square. That's going to be more readable, I guess. So I'm going to type it as square. So anything you can give any name, so that's not an issue. So we are creating a character array here with a size of 10, and I'm storing a 10 values here from 0 to 9. Even 1 to 9 is like numericals also, but we are storing it inside a character. So that's the reason we have to give within a single quotes, because why we are using the characters here, because when we actually run the code. Before that, I have shown you, right, running the code and all. When we actually run the code, we are replacing these numbers by the characters like x or o. If you play one turns, then x going to be replaced by number, and then number going to be like if you play two turns, then o is going to replace the numbers. Like that's what we are doing, right? So but x and y, x and o are characters. So we also have to be numbers, also be characters, so that we can easily replace them, right? So that's the reason we are using the character array. So that's what it. And one more thing is here we are actually using here we are actually mentioning, if you observe it, we are mentioning this character array outside the main function. It's not even separate function. Then we have not even declared any function here, user different function. We're not even declared any user different function, and even we are not even mentioning inside the main function. We completely written this particular character array outside the main function. It not even user defined function as well. Completely we are doing in the outside the main function, or like outside the user defined function. So that's what we are using. What exactly it mean? Wait, let me give one more example here, like to understand more about it is. So actually, it is called as generally it is called as global variable. If we declare something inside a main function, or not only main function, even it is a user defined function or main function, anything is declared inside the function. I'm calling a function. Either it may be a main or it may be user defined function. If anything is declared inside a function, then it's going to call it as local variable. If something is declared outside the function, not even main or not even user defined function, it's completely outside like this. So then it's going to be global variable. It actually is not a variable. So actually, I'm going to show it as a variable. Then here I'm going to create a number, like create a variable and a number 10 here. I'm going to storing it as a number 10 here. So now what I'm going to do here, I'm going to create a user defined function here, get display, and then within display, what I'm going to do here, I'm also taking some parameters like b here. Okay, so now what I'm going to do is percentage d here, and then backwards slash n, and one more percentage d here, and then I'm going to print a comma b. So here we actually going to pass this b, so no need to worry about it. We're going to pass here. I'm going to declare inside the main function. So this a is we declaring outside the function, not even user defined function or not even main functions. We are completely defining it in outside the function. So that's what it is. So here we actually declaring the b inside the main function. So b as I'm going to declare b as 15 here, and then I'm going to pass that b to that function. Sorry, this thing. Yeah, we need to define. We need to declare it, right? So yeah. So here I'm passing it, and it's going to uh, I'm going to passing here b, and going to take it here, and then I'm going to printing here in this vertical line, and even we are also printing a as well. So we are printing a and b as well, but here we are not we are not even passing inside the, not even taking as input in this particular function, the user defined function, not even taking, and even we are not even passing it here. We just declared it here outside the function. It's not even main function. It's not even user defined. We completely written outside the function. Now let's print it. What's going to happen? So it asking what happened. Yeah, yeah. So here we actually missed this semicolon. Yeah, now it works. So let me run it. So yeah, so we got the output as 10 here, and we got the just 15 here. So we are printing both a and b as well. So we got the output as a and b as well. So that's what it is. So let me first of all, so we got an output as both 10 and 15 as well, right? So let me explain. Because here we have declared outside the function. We not even declared inside the main or user defined function. We completely defined it outside the function. But when it comes to b, we declared it inside the main function, and we have to pass it into the this when function we call it. But here we're not even calling anything. So that's what it is. If we declare the user global function, you can use that variable throughout your code. If you're writing hundreds of thousands of code, then it's going to be very tedious task to pass each and every time. But when you actually use a global variable, this kind of variables that we are actually using here, I'm going to comment it and I'm going to write global variable. Yeah, when we actually use this particular global variable, then it's going to be easier task to programmer to can use that variable anywhere throughout the program. You don't need to declare it again. You can use it anywhere in the throughout the program. So that's what it is. But when it comes to this thing, it's going to be local variable. Local variable. So that's what it is. When it comes to local variable, we're going to do this way. But when it comes to global variable, we're going to do in this way. So that's what it is. But it's going to be somewhat benefit with the global variable. We can use anywhere through the program. So that's what going to be happen. Yeah. And when it comes to global value, this is what going to happen. So that's what it is. And now I hope you understood about the global and local variable difference. But see, for example, here now I'm not passing it. I'll also show that as well. I'm not passing it, and even I'm not doing. I'm not taking it in here. But when I run it, but I'll get see here we're not saying that be undeclared. So when we actually use the local variable, it's going to recognize only that particular function, not even recognize outside the function. Just so that's the difference between local and global variable. But when you declare a global variable, you want to be recognized throughout the code. If you write thousands of 200,000 code anything, it's going to be recognized. But when it comes to local variable, it's not going to recognize. So that's what it is. So that's the difference and usage of global and local variable. I'm going to delete this. So here we have, yeah, I'm going to delete this thing as well. Here we have declared our array as global. So that's what you have to understand here. And even I'm going to declare two more variables, that is choice here and then player. And this also global. And now going to declare the functions. So you're not aware about this declaring the functions, right? Let me explain it right now. First, let me write it. Check for when. Display here. I'm going to declare this thing as well. So display, we can also give some more thing for more clear idea. I'm going to use display board here, but we are displaying the numbers, right? So that's what we are actually doing. And now one more thing, that is mark board. So for marking it, we also passing the character, which are the character we actually want to mark it, whether it's one or two, whatever the user enters away. That's based upon that we have to mark it, right? So we're going to pass the character as well here. So this is what declaration here, because what is the difference between the declaration and like before when it comes to when before that I have um, have also used this display function, right, to print A and B. So when it comes to print A and B, I have declared here itself the function we have declared here itself, and also I have what exactly this function does and everything I have already mentioned here itself. The same line itself. I mean the same like continuous manner I have mentioned everything, right? But when it comes to here these functions, I just have mentioned the semicolon, but I can use it the functions there, like I can I can make the function like what exactly the function does and everything. I can actually declare, I can actually here again I mentioned it the function, and then I can do what exactly the function does and everything. For example, here if I, for example, this function is like I have mentioned here check for win. So again I'm going to type the check for win here, and then I'm going to open and close curly bracket, and then I'm going to write the function, what exactly the function does and everything. I'm going to write it after the main function. When it that could be like somewhat easy task for you as well, because when you're actually using some very thousands of lines of code, as I said earlier, like in the time what are the functions you have used and everything. If you mention at the beginning of the code itself, then so that everyone can understand what are the functions you have declared use as a user defined function, and what are the functions you have declared and everything, that the other person can also easily understand, able to understand what exactly the program doing and everything, what are the functions that he has used and everything. That going to be helpful. And as well as you can also refer, if something has happened, anything, any errors or anything in your code, you can actually refer. For example, when I already done the code everything, after some time, when I check the output screen, it's actually not marking the board. When I give an input, it has to mark the board, right? It has to mark the board when it's, but it's not marking it. The numbers 1 to 9 is, we have an 1 to 9 numbers, but it's actually not marking. When I click it, when I the user enters a 1, or when user enter a 9 value, then it should mark it, but it's not marking it. So then I can easily check my code, and then I can easily check that we have a function called mark board, so that we have to change make the changes in this particular function. We don't need to touch anything else. So that's what we're going to easily catch it when we actually if right now I'm just doing, if you do it continuous manner, so then you can understand like what exactly where we have written everything. But right now I'm writing the code. When I actually came back to this the same code whichever I have written today itself, I'm just I went after for example, if I have written the same code, the tic-tac-toe game I have built in 1 year ago. Currently, I am checking the code. Do you really remember that what exactly where particular line you have written everything? Yes, of course you don't remember. So that way you can easily, by just checking this particular function's name by the beginning of the code, the declaration parts, you can easily understand like what are the functions you have used and everything. At the time, going to easily catch what are the functions you have mentioned everything. So that's all. We actually declare the functions before and the beginning of the code, and then we can access it, and we can actually what exactly function does and everything. We can do it later on also. So that's usage of these functions. So let's start with this check for win function. So let me comment it out before that. Let me write what exactly this function does and everything. So what exactly this function does is this function going to check who's the winner going to be, and mainly we going to get some boolean values like function every time like we have a boolean values, right? As we discussed earlier, 0 1, and so the same thing we actually going to print some values like in a numerical value, not a character. So for that reason, I'm going to mention few conditions here. What are the conditions we're going to use in this particular function that I'm going to mention here itself, so that you're going to get some clarity, like when you actually look back into my code, or like after some time. So then so that will be helpful. So that's the reason we have to use this. It's better to make a regular habit of writing comments and everything, so that you can easily understand when you actually come back after a while. So that's going to be helpful for you as well. For function to return game status here, one for one for game is game is over with the result, and then -1 for game is in progress, and then next 0 is game is over and no result. Yeah, so this is what we're going to build in our check for win condition by using the if and else statement. So that we already explored about the if else block and everything. If you haven't checked that video, please do check that video and then come back here, so that you're going to understand. Even you can be like the same path. We are going to be the same path, and we're going to be understand a more clear in a more clear way. So that's what I'm requesting you. So please do check that video and then come back here. And also one more thing, even once we also write this particular check condition, everything, even if you didn't understand like what exactly we are doing, for example, like what we are actually doing and everything, if you haven't understood, if you couldn't able to understand it. So what I'm want to say is, please take a pen and paper and then write it as if condition, whatever I mentioned here. Just write it on a paper and then write it on a paper, and then what exactly the square one is what exactly the value of the square one, and just write it on a pen and paper, and then check do it then that manner, like writing in a paper and then trace by line. Then it will be more easy to understand for you as well. So that's what I want to say for you as well. Even if you after, like, maybe some people will get it, some people may not. So that's what I'm saying. So try to use that, make a use of writing it on paper. So now here I'm going to mention a condition as uh, square one square one equals to, and then square, and and I'm going to give one more condition. So, 2 equals to there are 3. Here I'm going to do, here I'm going to mention, before that I'm going to declare one more variable here, that is int the return value is equals to 0. I'm going to initialize first initially 0, and then here what I'm going to do is I'm going to make it as return value as 1. I'm going to make it as 1 if this condition is true, so that we can actually return it as per we mentioned. If 1 is mean, if we got the output as 1, then for game is over with the result. So that we're going to give the result for that, we're going to display the result who is going to win everything. So that's what it is. So what exactly this condition is, like, you just square of 1 means what is it, square of 1. So this is the 1, and then square of 2. So what is square of 2? So 2. So you have to take a pen and paper, and then you have to do it on a pen and paper, what is square of 1 and what is square of 2. Do it in that way, so that going to be more clear clarity for you to understand what exactly it mean by. So that's what I want to say for you as well. So here it is, and then I'm going to give an else if condition as well. In else if condition, what I'm going to mention is square 4 square 5 square of 6 here. I'm going to mention 4 equals to 5 and 5 equals to 6. So here I'm going to set it as return value. The value as this for this also I'm going to return as 1 here, and then here what I'm going to make next procedure. What I'm going to do is square of 7 equals to square of 8, and square of 8 equals to square of 9. I'm going to check all the conditions, like all the possible conditions. So that's what I'm doing here. I'm taking the two values, and then I'm taking all the possible values, so like for all our throughout our array. So what we have the character array. So I'm going to check all the possible array, all the possible values by taking it two. So that's what I'm doing here. Here I'm going to take the square of 8 here. Square of 8 equals to. So here I'm going to take square of 8 equals to square of 9 here. So 9 here. So what here I'm going to return value equals to 1 here again. Next, what I'm going to do is, we're done with this almost all the 8 values. So here I'm going to start with other two possible values here again. So we're done with this thing. So I'm going to start with again square of 1 equals to square of 4, square of 4 equals to square of 7. We no need of this. Here again I'm going to get one more possibility, that is square of 2 equals to, and then square of 5, square of 5 equals to square of 8. Then value is equals to again 1 here, because I'm going to check all the possible value and then I'm just returning it 1 as so that we're going to get an output, a relevant output. And next what we're going to do again, else if now here we done the 2, so now we're going to explore the 3 here. Square of 3 equals to square of 6 here, and again square of, after 6 we have square of 6 equals to square of 6 equals to square of 9. And then here what I'm going to do again, we have one more else if here the else if again we're going to check for we done with this possibility, and again we're going to check it for square of 1, square of 1 equals to square of 5, and then square of 5 equals to square of 9 here, and even that going to be written as value 1 here. Now what going to happen here again, square of 3 here, then the next one else if square of 3 equals to square of 5, and now square of 3, after that what we're going to do, square of 5 and then square of 7 here. Else if, so we have it. So now what I'm going to do is here, so we're going to now check two more conditions. Square of 1 not equals to 1, and square of 2. Actually, let me explain it why we're actually using. Let me write the condition first, and then that's going to be better, I guess. So that's what I'm just looking at. So first, let me write the condition, full of condition. Watching, guys. So that's all about in this video. Continuation of Tic-Tac-Toe, you can watch it in the upcoming video. So no need to worry. So please do watch the upcoming video as well for the continuation part of Tic-Tac-Toe game. So where you can also enjoy some more the full of the Tic-Tac-Toe game. You can be full of fun and get a new experience of building an application as well. So the game. So yeah, that's all. If you like my work, please do like, share, and subscribe to CoFocus. And don't forget to check that GitHub repo if you face any kind of difficulties in the coding part. Like if you have any bugs or anything, just do check that the code which you have shared in GitHub. So that's all. Thank you.